everybody. Welcome in. Hi. How's everybody's Saturday? Hopefully it's a good one. It's been good over here. It's been a good Saturday for me. I just changed out the goddess candle, and the plate that I use for the goddess candle has the print of the flower of life at the bottom. Look at this. All the wax, like all the reminiscent of the wax. And you see the bottom of the, isn't that crazy? Hi, welcome in. Isn't that crazy cool? I was so excited. I was so ready for this to happen because like, I've been waiting. You see there's like at least a couple candles. This is probably like 4 or 5 candles worth of like extra wax melted in. The goddess candle, so good. This is the one that I light for like our coven, new moon, the balsamic moon, all that good stuff. It is so, I just put a new one in. We got a fresh bowl. Hello, welcome in. A fresh bowl. Fill it full, a fresh bowl. Okay, let me get my other cards open. How's your Saturday? How's it going? How's it good? How's it good? You know what I saw today? Listen, spirit moving in a different way, okay? It's been a good day. It's been a weird day. Also, I have all my merch up on my website finally. It's been a good day. I got up super early. Hello. I got up super early, way earlier than I thought I was gonna get up. Okay, didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Feel fine. Prayed about it before I went to bed. Woke up, ready to go. Hello, welcome in, welcome back. Yeah, woke up ready to go. Walked my knee, my arthritis, early stream, I know. Ooh, have fun at the festival. That sounds fun. Ooh, very good day, yeah. But I was headed out to go to the coffee shop. My arthritis and my knee came back a little bit. So I was like, let me walk, let me rehabilitate a little bbit. So I walked, it was a mile there, mile back, gorgeous, okay. Beautiful, gotta walk in. On the way there, nothing really weird. Merch, you say. There's a couple bikinis in there too. There's one of them, I'm so excited because I ordered mine today. There's a Coven beanie also, says Coven on it, which I'm pretty excited about. I wear beanies all the time, so it's also cold here. But yeah, one of the bikinis, it's a picture that I took a long time ago. Yeah, picture I took a long time ago. It's called the Crazy Witch Bikini because it's like trees. It's a very like tree, nature-y sort of picture that I took a long time ago. Okay, so you got the top, you got the bottom, but then on the back, on the bottom, it says Crazy Witch in like tattoo font. It's so sick. I was putting it together and I was like, this is really incredible. I can't wait to wear this summer. And then the tags on the inside, it's the same font. It says Mother Priestess. And then there's like a little 2026, summer 2026. I'm so excited. They're so freaking cool. There's a goddess painting also. The one that I use for the coven for the new moon and balsamic moon. Yeah, got a goddess bikini. A goddess bikini? Crazy. I tried to steal. Block them, report them. I don't know what to tell you. I hope that helps. Pray about it if you need to. Yeah, also, yes, hello. Also, we're gonna, not me with the ASMR tarot cards. Ridiculous, okay? We're gonna get into it and see what's up. I've been like in a weird rearrange. I finally feel like I'm catching up on everything. I've had so much back work to get done that I just needed space to get it done, and I finally feel like I'm kind of finally catching up, which means I can be more present with like live stream content stuff. Thank goodness. So we're gonna see. Let's see collective. Also, this is gonna be a collective reading. The personals are open if you go to the website and live stream readings. I also just put a bunch of merch in the shop. There's hoodies. There's the beanie. There's bikinis. There's bikinis for the summer. There's prints for the art. There's going to be more stuff coming, but for now, that's what's up there. Also, my music is up. It's up on my profile. There's a couple things that still need to be distributed, but we're on the ride, guys. Crazy. Let's check in with collective things. What's going on? I'm so excited. Thanks for being here. Yeah. I love it when people just sit in. Good. To the merch site. Run, don't walk. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Hold on, before we get started. I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but I'm going to talk about it. Okay. On the walk back today so I walked out to get coffee, got work done. On the walk back, mile there, mile back, I felt called to stop under this underpass. I needed to take my hoodie off. It was kind of hot, put it in my bag. was walking out of the underpass, and I just felt like I needed to stand there. So I stood there before I like got out of the shadow, was watching, and then there was a hawk. Swooped down from a tree across the street. It crossed the street, interesting, okay. It landed in another tree, flew to a building, and then it flew back over to where it was perched originally. So, interesting. There's something, you know, something interesting happening. I need to pay attention. The hawk is here talking. Okay. Talking with action, right? Okay. I take a couple more steps. There's like a 3-foot snake. There's water on the edge of the street. There's like a 3-foot snake. I said, let me stop. Let me back up. Snake did a little wiggle. Kept going where it was going. I was crossing the street too. Kept going where it was going. And I said, okay, I'm just going to wait then. I'm going to wait for it to cross. I'm going to wait for it to cross. That's what it is then. I'll just wait here. I'm not going to move because like when you move, snakes can see you, right? So I was like, I'm not going to move. Also, I wore these today. Thank goodness. Thank you. These earrings, they're rattlesnake vertebrae. Crazy. Okay. Anyways, though. So I didn't move because when you move, snakes can see you. Let me just stand here. And then I took a couple steps back because I was like, let me give this snake some space. I don't need to be too close. It was a big snake. It was like 3+ feet long. He was a big guy. Or gal. I don't know. Big one, though. Okay. Take a couple steps back. And then it starts to come towards me, and I said, absolutely not. So I took many steps backwards, and I crossed the street, and I walked around it, and then I walked to the trail that I needed to get on, and that was a little scary. And Spirit immediately was like, keep your wits about you. Keep your wits. Okay. I'll keep my wits. Keep your wits about you. This is the weird moon cycle. This is a weird one. We've got a lot of like awesome, expansive, good stuff happening, but that also means snakes in the grass. Literally snakes in the grass. Pay attention to opportunities, offerings, things that you're like a little sketched out about. You're gonna know. Don't let it go if you know something, even if you don't have proof. You feel it, you know it, okay, let me keep an eye about it, you know? Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully it's easy for you, you know? That's crazy. Okay, let's go to the reading part. Keep your wits. Here we go. A lot of earth stuff. Justice, you know? I know, right? I know. I need to order one for myself. I'm so excited. They're so cute. I heart Daddy Saturn. There's sweatshirts on the website now that say I heart Daddy Saturn on them. It's like one of the more playful things. There's a couple things on there that are a little playful, but that one's like really playful. Anyways, I just think it's really great. I really wanted a shirt that said that. Okay. A lot of justice stuff, which is interesting because, and also true, you know? I just lit this candle here, that one. That's for justice. A little couple candles before I got on live stream today. So we're going to talk about justice. Interesting. Some new perspectives, things we haven't seen yet. Justice, a justice reading. I don't think we've done a justice reading in a while. We've kind of talked about justice, but we haven't done like a justice reading. First reading of the stream, a justice reading. Okay, let's see. A justice reading? What are we going to look at? This full moon. Also, why this way? A bridge the gap. Something else, I'm also feeling eclipse because look, there's a ring around it. You know? Jury duty next week. That's crazy. Also, thanks for the follow. That's crazy. Well, good luck. Pisces eclipse. Spirit has had a lot of people on like a hard timeline with the Pisces eclipse. Get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. I was just listening to Star Lady. I don't know if you know her. One of her videos earlier today about like the hard timing of things this summer. She was talking about how a lot of other astrologers are talking about, you know, this summer's going to be kind of, because it is. I've been told June and July by Spirit. Spirit told me June and July are going to be like 1 month. It's going to move quick. Okay. Look at the full moons. Look at the full moons. Also, yeah, I know. Star Lady mentioned. Look at the full moons. There's something bridging. Something. I hear the word transition, but it doesn't feel as specific as transition, but a bridge. It's bridging. I'm seeing a bridge like being built as you like walk across it. Where is the destination? A bridge. Also, a bridge of justice. A bridge. A bridge of justice. Okay, interesting. A transit bridge of justice. I feel like justice is like the bridge is the justice. Also, the destination is the justice. Both. I know. I'm so excited for the blue moon. It's so good. Also, thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Queen of Astro. Crazy. That's a big one. That's a big one. I've had people here start calling me Magic Mama or Mama Magic. That one's been kind of a cool one to be bestowed with. But yeah. Oh, thanks. So good. Yeah. So good. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. We've got, okay, included with just, I know, right? Yeah. Oh. Your patience has been heard. What have you been not working on? Earning? Justice. Earning of justice. Your patience has been heard. Working on it. You've been working on it. Earning it. Earn the justice. Earning it? Also with the patience, like sometimes I'm thinking about, for a long time, I really wanted community, like offline, real life community. And for a long time, I met a lot of people who were not that. So walking through that in a just way as I could. Also earn the right of justice in a more communal setting, right? Earning it. You got to balance the scale. So you walk through it. Once that gets heavy, then you get to where you can start receiving. So think about the things you've been earning. What maybe like trials, tribulations, hardships. Relate as necessary. We also have, what have you been carrying? This is an interesting one. Look at how big. That's a big boulder. Isn't that from Shrek? Doesn't Donkey say that? Yeah, that's a nice boulder. I think that's what he says. It's a nice boulder. Yeah, but that's a big one. He's carrying it on his back, and he's like crouched down too. Something you've been carrying. Also, I heard it's a burden other people can't see. A burden that other people can't see that you've been carrying. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna look farther. Apparently a lot. Oh, that was many cards. Hold on. Many was 3 apparently. Still feels like a lot. Still feels like a lot. Okay, we've got something from the dark comes forth. So like sort of into the light. Something from the dark comes forth. I'm seeing like still the dark of night, but then it's like close enough to you that you can see it. You know how like at nighttime, sometimes it's light enough you can still see stuff. It's close enough you can see it. You've been kind of watching it out in the distance, but have no idea. It's just this like blob. You can't really see it. But it's getting closer, so you can see more of it. So I'm thinking from the dark approaches. Carrying a burden, something from the dark approaches. I got these 2 cards earlier. This is interesting. This is do it for yourself. Do it for yourself and carry the fire. It's time for us to move on. Do it for yourself. Justice will be honoring you in the process, and do it for yourself. What do you feel like you need to do for yourself? What do you feel like you've been earning? What do you feel like you've been carrying the burden of? There's a lot to reflect on in that, honestly. Is there anything else we need to see about this one? Let's go back to the beginning. Justice, when is the next? Don't we have a Capricorn full moon? Hold on, let's find dates. Let's see. Full moon. Full moon. Full moon in Capricorn, June 29th. Also, Mercury retrogrades in Cancer that day. Weird combo, but, you know, official. That one is going to be an illumination of justice, which is interesting. Also, thanks and welcome. Which is interesting. Our coven work, new moon in Capricorn, full moon in Capricorn, will be revealing of work that we started earlier this year. Coven-related stuff. Interesting. We've also done a lot of justice work with the coven, and I just lit a justice candle for the coven. Interesting. Weird. Also. Weird. It's something that I don't even want to look at. I keep trying to close my eyes. Like, let's just like not look at it for a second. Oh, a lot to be regarded and a lot to be revered. This is something that you've cleared. You've cleared it, like cleared the scales, cleared the balance. You've cleared it. I see like a debt accrued paid off. You cleared it. Debt accrued has been paid off. You cleared it. Full moon in Capricorn is going to be a very like striking, strict. Words to restrict. Striking, strict. Words to restrict. I mean, Saturn is restrictive. Not also the I Heart Daddy Saturn being mentioned. Interesting. Okay. Sweatshirt being mentioned. Yeah, valid. Okay. So we've got a weird turn. Full moon in Capricorn. Let's learn a little bit about this. Hold on. Let me pull my fate cards out. Let's pull these out. I still can't get over it. Listen, there were not a lot of people in the chat earlier when I pulled this up. Now that there's more people here, look at this. I changed the goddess candle. That's this one. You see it's in a little bowl. The bowl gets full of extra wax as the candle like drips down. And the bottom of the bowl has the imprint of the flower of life on it. So I did that wrinkle. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. But there's a bunch of wax up here. I'm going to melt into other candles as like reuse purposes, recycle stuff. But this one, I don't know. I kind of want to keep it. I'm not really sure what to do with it yet. I just pulled it out before we got on stream. Crazy. All right. But it is pretty. Thanks, goddess. Okay, let's talk about it then. Fate cards. Full moon in Capricorn. New moon. A cycle that has turned. You will have learned, you will have earned. Also, there will probably be things that from the new moon in Aquarius, talking about creativity, we've got the Aquarius eclipses going on, the truth of things coming into light, structure, something from the night being revealed. But I'm also saying like it's being revealed, keep it tight. It's being revealed in the darkness for a reason. It's being revealed to you in the darkness for a reason. This thing that is coming out of the darkness to greet you and meet you, it's not a scary shadow. It looks like that from far away, but it's not. You kind of know that also. It's coming to greet you. It's coming to meet you. It's also a very like stoic person. If it's a person, it's a stoic person. It's a very stoic person. Coming to greet you, coming to meet you. Interesting. Coming to greet you, coming to meet you. And it's supposed to be done in the darkness because other people are not supposed to know about it. Other people are not supposed to know about it. The darkness keeps it tight and keeps it restricted, which is strange, which is interesting. Okay, so let it be done then. Hold on. There's a little bit more. What else about the fate do we need to know? Also, the full moon this month, 31st, we have the dark moon in Sagittarius. The full moon's in Sagittarius. So we're going to have, thank you, Spirit. We're going to see some darkness revealed then too, but the full moon in Capricorn is going to bring kind of more illumination on that. We've got Saturn in Aries. I wonder what Mars is going to be in. Hold on. Let's take a look. Let's see. Moon calendar. Moon calendar. Yes, this one, please, and thank you. I'm going to flip it. Moons for 2026. Switch it back. Hold on. Let's take a bigger look at this. It's June 29th. June 29th, June 29th. Okay. Oh, interesting. Is that true? Do we have... Oh, no. Okay, different. Sorry. Let's go to this full moon. At first, I was... For some reason, I thought the new moon that we just had was the new moon in Gemini. I think because there's a bunch of Gemini stuff happening. But I'm wrong. So my brain was confused. I had to double check it. Anyways, okay, let's go back. Hold on. Okay, let's go to the chart. Mars retrograde coming. Mars retrograde starts, I believe it's the beginning of the year, next year. Mars, is it under that sticky note? Yeah, January 10th. Mars will retrograde, and then it's retrograde till April 1st. Haha. What a funny joke. Haha. You know? Crazy. Also, thank you. Yeah, you know, crazy. Okay, let's go back to this. Give me just a second. So that full moon, whoa, hey, that was a big zoom in. I did not mean to do that. A big zoom in? Something being revealed very close? Quite interesting. Okay. Full moon, Mercury is going to be still. It's not quite retrograde. It's going to be still, which is interesting. Mars will have just entered Gemini. Weird. I'm grateful we are looking at this. Interesting. Mars being ruled by Gemini means it's ruled by Mercury. Probably, honestly, the fake account. I don't know. The fake accounts are horrible. And I'm sorry. And I've tried to do stuff about it. TikTok doesn't, So, yeah. This is my only account. We're over here. Shout out. Okay, back to this. Mercury being still, also being in Cancer, ruled by the moon, which means it's ruled by moon in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn in Aries, ruled by the Mars in Gemini. So we've got a power circle. Interesting. Saturn is also going to be squaring the moon, and Saturn is also going to be squaring the sun, of course, because they're in opposition for a full moon. Interesting. A lot of serious, very grounded. If we're at like a moment of stillness, Mercury is still. It hasn't gone retrograde and it's not moving forward. It is still. It's chilling in Cancer. Chilling, hanging out, not doing anything. So we are going to have like a victorious moment of stillness on that June 29th, full moon in Capricorn, offering us a victory picture very close to us in the darkness for justice. Justice for Gotham. Okay, hold on. Let's look a little further. Okay. Yeah? That's the Destiny card. That's Destiny. That's a lot, man. No wonder I was feeling like I didn't want to look at it when we were looking at the other cards. That's a lot. That's a lot. Destiny. What are you going to cross? What are you going to cross? Full moon in Capricorn, Destiny. Justice being revealed. Who are you going to be? How are you going to do it? Something you've been carrying that other people don't see. Something you've been carrying like a burden. There's going to be a certain kind of magic. Cycles you have been very, very intentionally trying to close. It is a full moon in Capricorn, okay? Saturn likes to restrict us, which means a lot of the times it takes a long time. So if there's a certain kind of cycle you've been trying to close for a while now, it's also going to close a magical cycle, something that has been done with magic. You're closing a cycle with magic. Magic specifically. Spell work, ritual work, prayers, magic stuff. Closing, okay? I feel like justice, I feel like this is going to be like justice being like, okay, we're done with that. Now here's this thing that's being revealed. Person that's being revealed. Structure that's being revealed. Shield that. What is being revealed, shield it. I see like if it's coming out of the darkness towards you and then you can see it and it's very close, there's a shield behind this and like around you. Do that. Okay. Not a devil, but a different level, Oh, thanks. Not a devil, but a different level. We've also got a creative energy being returned. Triumphed over something. I also am hearing, do you realize how lucky you are? Do you realize how lucky you are? That felt very serious. I know I was joking a second ago. That felt very serious. Do you realize how lucky you are? You could have been off the rocks. You could have been off the rails. Do you realize how lucky you are? You realize? And then your world of other. Yes, thank you, Spirit, also. Thank you for the pronunciation. Thank you, Spirit. I'm grateful for you, Spirit. Yeah, I'm grateful that those of us who could have gone more off the rails did not. I'm grateful it was not harder. And I'm grateful for the innocence that is still retained. Right. A correct direction comes from this. Triumphed, a correct direction. There is a correct direction. And that's the phrasing. I'm not going to try to rephrase it. A correct direction. Destiny, a cycle closing, a big cycle. Something magic has been working with you. You've been working magic. Okay. We're not going to go through a whole overview. This is kind of a big one, but interesting. We're going to call this one done. That's an interesting reading. Interesting. All right. We're going to go through another collective reading. My personals today are open if you're interested. If you go to the website, you go to live stream readings, there's going to be 3 different options. My private readings right now are only for returning clients. So just a heads up, if you are a returning client from here and or other sessions, that's going to be kind of the space and place. If you've sent me an email, I do have that on my list of things to do to get back to you. So thank you for the patience. I also just put up my prints and my merch in my store on my shop. There's some bikinis for summer, which I'm super excited about with my art on them. One of them on the back on the bottom says Crazy Witch, which I'm very excited to wear. Okay. We've also got workings up in the shop on the website. There's going to be the Coven Discord. If you want to join the Coven Discord, that's going to be Coven in the menu. What else is going on? We've got a blog over there, and my music is officially being distributed. So it's up on my TikTok profile. There's one song out right now, but the other ones have just been released through the distributor. So it should take a couple more days and they'll be out for us to hear. This is the music that I made back in like 2022, 2023. I think they were all 2022 actually. But now that I'm getting back into it, we're re-releasing the old stuff and we're walking into the new stuff. So yeah, so good. Also, thanks. I'm happy too. It feels good. I've been working in the background for a while to make sure this stuff gets set up. So much boundaries and tape and stuff I had to figure out, but it's done now. So here we are. Yeah. And music. Yeah. All at the same time. All of it. Because when do I do things small? I was thinking about that other day. I was thinking about the magic that I practice, and how do I explain this? I was trying to explain it to somebody about how I practice magic. And I was like, well, I could do it like this, and I could ask for these little things, at this space of time. But my magic is sort of explosive, and there's nothing that I can really do about that. That's just how it works. I don't know how to do it any other way. So here we are. All of it at the same time. You know what? Thank you. Crazy. I'm going to double check. We haven't gotten any notifications for orders for live stream readings, but I just want to double check and make sure. Sometimes my phone doesn't tell me. So yeah. Okay. We're still in collective space. So let's check it out. Let's see what else is going to come through. We got a lot of collective messages to get through. That's what I'm feeling. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Is it destruction or is it creation? Because it sounds like both. What's falling apart and what's coming together? Because they go together. Interesting. Yeah. And then it was like, honestly, I get that. Oh, cool. Thanks. So good. So good. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, it's some good stuff, honestly. It's some good stuff. That song that's out right now, that's the one that booked me my first gig, honestly. So I'm grateful it's back up, it's kind of nice. My old EP is out too, Reflections. That one, if you listen to that one, listen to it straight through. It's 3 songs. But, okay. Is it creation or is it destruction? They're happening together. That's the second or third time that someone has talked about volcanoes recently in terms of, interesting. Let's look a little bit. Oh, what is this? Weird. Hold on. Aquarius full moon? Aquarius full moon. We had an Aquarius eclipse this year. Aquarius full moon? If the June 29th is Capricorn, end of July. Hold on. Wow, we're getting a lot of big time frames right now. Interesting. Hold on. We've got full moon in Aquarius, also July 29th, on the 29th. All right, July 29th. Also, the sun is conjunct with Jupiter in Leo on that day. And that's going to be in opposition to the full moon in Aquarius. What are we about to see about our luck? Luck? Our luck? Luck? Changing? Luck, rearranging. Lucky. Lucky stars to count. You know how people say count your lucky stars? Lucky stars to count. You're going to look at them and be like, oh, there's 1 and there's 2 and there's 3 and there's 4 and then there's more. Crazy. That one is July 29th. Full moon in Aquarius. Also sun conjunct Jupiter in Leo. Spicy, spicy summer. Yes. It is a spicy summer. Also, I need to hydrate really quick and then we're going to get back into pulling some cards. Hold on. Drink water. If you need to drink water, remind yourself, okay? Drink some water. Okay. Let's go back to this. Let's see what else is up. We got a lot to say. Also, the High Priestess at the top of the deck. We've got the Star at the bottom of the deck. That's a good combo. What else are we going to see? Hold on. Full moon in Aquarius. Full moon in Aquarius. I heard, don't act nefarious. Isn't nefarious like sketchy? Let me look it up. Hold on. Let's get a specific definition. Nefarious. 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 A specific definition. To describe activities or actions that are flagrantly wicked, immoral, or villainous. Flagrantly wicked, immoral, or villainous. Don't act nefarious. You know? Yeah, honestly. I felt gamer girl today. At heart, you know? At heart, I am a Nintendo lady. Oh, so good. Also, shout out. Okay. Let's see. We have a lot to be with this one. This full moon. We have a lot to be with this one. Don't act nefarious. No villainous stuff. No wicked or immoral behavior. Full moon in Aquarius. Let's think about the Aquarius energy and what's going on in the world right now. Okay. Wicked, immoral. This is why I wanted to get a specific. That can mean a lot of things. There are some people who really believe in the institutional law. Do you? Questions. What does nefarious mean to you? What would wicked and immoral mean to you? I don't know that we would take the textbook definition for that one. You know what I mean? Depends on who you are and your moral, ethical code. But to define that for yourself feels like it's going to be important to do that when you feel like you need to, if you do. Okay, let's go back to this. Full moon in Aquarius, is it creation or destruction? Big primordial energies also valid. Depends on the situation. True. Creation and destruction, big primordial energies. Aquarius, that's primordial stuff. Interesting. Okay. We have an altar. Altar rearranging. Ooh, I'm gonna see. This is the second time that name has come to me today. Hold on, let me look it up. I was thinking about it on the way to get coffee earlier and get some work done. And then now I'm thinking about it again. Yeah, I was seeing, interesting. I like to look at the clouds and like divinate stuff. One of my favorites, okay? Good, fun. If you've never done it before, try it. Divination, cloud divination, gorgeous. Not just cloud watching, cloud divination. Okay. You can see like pictures and visions and stuff. It's pretty cool. Okay, but while I was walking and I saw Baphomet in the sky, in the clouds. And I just heard it in my head again. Hold on. The reconciliation of opposites. Interesting. No, I do not want to ask AI anything. Chill. You know what I heard recently? One of the new data centers that's opening up. This could be incorrect. Okay. Research. I have not done it, but I did hear this from a person that I trust. But listen, I didn't do the research, so fact check me if you want. There's apparently a new data center that's opening up in Utah that is going to raise the nighttime temperature by like 12 degrees. What are we doing? What are we doing? We being everybody. Not we here, right? All of us. So also yes, but like, weird. We're going to get back to it. Hold on. But yeah, Baphomet. Baphomet. I heard it again. Hold on. The name emerged in the 14th century during the trials of the Knights of the Templar. That's quite strange. Interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Also, yeah, we are destroying. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Yeah. I did also just hear, though, that Colorado just passed a law to put data center stuff on pause. No more buying of land, no more building stuff. Like, no more new stuff till they get it figured out. Which is interesting. Yeah. Oh. So much change so quickly. And I just saw AOC. I follow her on here. And I just saw her with, did you see the one where she has the jars full of like what looks like dirt water? 'Cause it is. She was like, this is the water. This is the fresh water near the data centers. The fresh water. Yeah. Good goodness. Good goodness. Okay, so Baphomet. Let's go back to this. Baphomet. Interesting. We're going to read aloud. Granted, this is Wikipedia, but sometimes there's some decent stuff on there. Okay, so fact check it when you want to, and we're going to look together. Name first emerged in the 14th century during the trials of the Knights of Templar, when the order, the Knights of the Templar, was accused of heresy for worshipping Baphomet as a demonic idol. Baphomet was reimagined by 19th century occultists amidst renewed debate over the suppression of the Templars. Interesting. You know? Yeah. Yeah. I love AOC. So good. Heat quality. That's crazy. That's crazy. This one. MSN says Utah data center could unleash heat equal to 23 nuclear bombs daily. There was something I was going to say, but you know what? If you look at what's happening to other warehouses, let me keep my mouth shut. Right. But also, modern popular image of Baphomet was established by Eliphas Levi in his 1856 work Dogme et Rituel de la Haute Magie. Hold on. What the heck does that translate to? Yeah, no, it doesn't say. Okay. Interesting. His sabbatic go illustrates depict winged androgynous human god hybrid. Okay, hold on. Let's go down a little bit. Baphomet. Does anybody work with Baphomet? Anybody know anything that is like interesting, relevant about Baphomet? Baphomet. They give me a lot of like historical stuff. Is there anybody in the chat who knows? Anybody in the do you have context? We will need some. I'm unfamiliar with Baphomet. Well, I'm learning still. Interesting. Technically a peacekeeper between lords. Interesting. Interesting also. Little resemblance to Lilith. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Also the Knights, yeah. Strange. It's like, from my understanding, a lot of Solomonic magic, which is also, listen, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, could be also the union of opposites. Hold on. Baphomet with the union of opposites. I don't know if you've ever heard of the 8th wheel of yoga, Samadhi. It's not the same thing, but it's sort of similar. Not, again, different concepts, different cultures, different context. Noted, though. Also, I hope you're having a good day, too. Interesting. Let me go back. There's a lot that came in. Give me a second. Spiritual symbol that represents a lot. Androgyny, interesting. Feared in a religious context. Closer to something worthy. Interesting. But more feared in religious. Santissima, you know, there's a... I love her, and I'm very grateful for her. Strange, though. I thought he was one of the Elohim, but I could be wrong. Interesting. Girl, if you're gonna start working... There have been a lot of new spirits around me recently. I can also feel, side tangent for a second, we've been on like a couple of them. They are all contextually together though, right? Okay. Spirit recently has had me on a new level of like refinement, which is really weird. Priestesshood, consecrated, new life began, moved across the country, started a new life, new friends, new everything, except for my work and my cats and my furniture. Knew all of it. Super weird. So, but now I've entered this season, where Spirit is really refining me. Like there's more in the future, but I'm in another stage of like development and refinement. It's very strange. It's not wrong, bad, good, or terrible, or I don't know. It's just weird. Very refined, very direct, more specific. Yeah. The balance of the universe. Interesting. There's a bigger context. There's a lot of conversation. We're talking about the data centers. We're talking about Baphomet. We're talking about union and duality. Because what I was thinking about, all of those other buildings that we've been talking about that have been catching fire. Not the Hunger Games reference. And the context of those movies. Crazy. Okay. But I was like, we would probably save some heat if that caught fire. Right. One sacrifice for another. Hold on. Aleister Crowley brought Baphomet into his system, essentially. Interesting. And you know what? Hold on. This one? Also, we were talking about Knights Templar. So, and I was saying how Knights Templar, Solomonic magic, this is one of Crowley's translations with Mather's, Greater and the Lesser Keys of Solomon. 2 different books, but in the same book here. And Baphomet is associated with Sauve et Kaugut. I probably got that wrong. My dyslexia and that word did not go together very well. I'll laugh at myself. As a principle of alchemy, dissolve and coagulate. Interesting. The Solomonic, let's go back to that for a second. Solomonic, also, what are they called? Knights Templar, and then there's the Freemasons. Also, from my understanding, very Solomonic. And I remember now, recently someone else was talking about that. It like came up briefly in conversation. Baphomet showing up today. Knights Templar, what is happening? Hold on. Knights Templar, Baphomet, Solomonic magic. We're talking about Aleister Crowley. We're talking about, that means also Golden Dawn, Secret Society, Union of Duality, secrets, privacy, practice stuff. Because this one, listen, let's get back to the cards for a second. This is an altar. Look at this. Yes, it's the 9 of Earth, but it is an altar. That's an altar. An altar where the water does not put the flame out. And we have a candle for justice going, and the coven is in the middle of a justice and war working where the water is associated with the justice part, and the flame and the fire is associated with war. So we're going to go through a place and a space and a time, full moon in Aquarius. Have you been listening to the energy of Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius? I have. Take some time if you have not been listening to that to tap into it. We're gearing up. Okay, not to scare anybody. Just look at it. We're going to have an altar where the water does not put the fire out. You know, recently in my personal life, right after we started that justice and war working Coven stuff, okay? If you want to join us, it's a year-long working. It's over in the Coven Discord. We love to practice with you. And thanks. And so the justice water gets worked to slow down those who are not working in justice and support those who are working in justice in the highest elevation. And then we pour that water out on government-owned land. And then we light a fire for war. So we're going to go through an alteration. Full moon in Aquarius. Is it destruction or is it creation? Let's look at some bigger picture stuff, okay? Context. Look at what's been happening. Bigger picture stuff. Also, Baphomet with the primordial kind of chaotic stuff that's happening right now. We're talking about secret society things. I think that was to help us get back to the Coven. I think that was to like ping that in my brain. And also Solomonic stuff. Also, less context. Person who introduced me to this stuff, practitioner that warfare in between us. Context, okay, on a personal level. I guess now you know. But keep facing your fears, okay? Hold on, let me go back. Last time Pluto was in Aquarius in a major war. Also, yeah, it was like 200 years ago, so for sure. Context, though. Context. This is way more serious also thanks. Way more serious than I thought we were going to have today, but I'm not going to stop it. Okay, so what else? We've got interesting, you know? Yeah, because I don't mess with them. And they're the first person who I ever caught doing work on me that I did not give any sort of okay to. I've earned a lot of rights because of that person. We're not going to talk too much about it, but listen, I know I'm fun and interesting. We get to the serious stuff on the internet too, but there's a lot of things in my practice that for good reason, okay? Yeah. Keep it on the down low, you know? So an alteration where justice is going to let the fire of war burn. Full moon in Aquarius. Is it destruction? Is it creation? Why the Solomonic stuff, though? What is Solomonic magic rooted in? I saw that. There was like a wave of spirit. Interesting. What is Solomonic magic rooted in? I mean, it's a lot of like mythos. It's a lot of like mysterious stuff. The translations we have, this book, let's go back to this one for a second, okay? The Greater Keys. Lesser Keys, its own thing. Greater Keys, there's the one that Mathers translates. He says it's like 5, is it 5, 7? I have the book in my hand. I can look, hold on. Is it 5? Is it 7? It's a lot. There's like many manuscripts. Hold on. First, I gotta find it. No, those are the lesser keys. I can't remember how many translations. Oh, here, hold on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 different manuscripts. 5 different in the Greater Keys of Solomon, which is like the non-demonic. Lesser Keys is the more demonic. It's a lot of bindings and a lot of like, you will do what I say no matter what. It's a lot of that. Greater Keys is different though. The Greater Keys, I haven't gotten all the way through it yet. And the Greater Keys, they do a lot of like very specific order ritual cleansings. You can only wear this for these 7 days before this ritual, and you have to cleanse every single day, and you must be in prayer every single day before you go into ritual, and there has to be these specific people, and every person within the ritual and the rite has certain things that they do. It's a very like structured, ordered. Greater keys are different. And those manuscripts, so, okay, let's look at the context. I love books. They're so good. Let's look at the context. The manuscripts that Mathers translates are, okay, you know how the King James Bible, you know how we talk about that translation, like, because it was like politically translated, right? Okay, there are some of the translations, because it's like a game of telephone. They find the original Greater Keys of Solomon. I think it's in a temple or like a burial site. I could be wrong, okay? I know I read it, but I don't remember the specifics. But they find it, and then there's these 5 different spaces, nations, cultures, who go in and translate it because it's old. So we have the original, which a lot of mystery around that foundation, excavated out of a place. 5 different places translate that, and then Mathers comes in early 19th century, early 20th century, early 1900s, and translates the translations. Solomonic magic is a lot of like mystery and a lot of binding in the lesser keys and a lot of order in the greater keys. Theme of compliance. Interesting. Hold on, let me catch up on the comments. The goddess rights lost. That's an interesting way to say that. Strange. Something rooted in mystery. Context, okay. Also Baphomet, union of opposites. Creation and destruction at the same time. Good and bad happening at the same time. War and not war happening at the same time. Take that into context. Okay, let's pick some more cards up. Hold on. Also, I don't know, side tangent again. I don't know if you've ever seen the Golden Dawn initiation book. You're going to in a second. Look at how fucking big this is. Look at how massive this is. It is literally bigger than my head. This thing is huge. It's ginormous. It's so large. And I'm not that far into it, clearly. But I'm like, I've read a lot, but I'm not that far. I've like made a little dent. It's so big. Oh my God, it's massive. Crazy. Okay, let me put it back. It's also very heavy. This thing is probably like 10 pounds. Wild. You know? I'm sorry, that is an index. It basically is. This is somebody who went through, like, he was a member of the Golden Dawn and then translated it, like, wrote down everything they did. All of the initiation rites. From, like, you starting to being, like, top of the hierarchy. It's crazy. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Oh, heavy book is heavy. Heavy book is heavy. You know, is understanding the basis of all... Hold on. Is understanding the basis of all of this a way to essentially read the playbook of the patriarchy? What is this? All of this what? Also the G... Yeah, I know. It's massive. It's so big. It's so big. But I'm learning a lot reading it. I haven't picked it up in a while to read it. I just picked it up. But I haven't picked it up to read it in a while. Okay, hold on. Let's get back to the cards for a second. We've got a lot of context. Let's see what else is going to happen. Do you remember when we did there was a war, it was like before September eclipses of 2020. If you've been around since then, there was a reading that I did before the September eclipses that was like really specific timing. That's how I'm feeling about this one. Okay. I want to say that's what she... But I won't. Hold on. A turn of the earth? More than that. Hold on. Turn of the earth. No. A turn of the earth that I don't want to see. A turn of the... Time is turning? Good. Okay. Time is turning. Why are we looking at that right now? This is like big brained. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of information, a lot of energy. It's very intense. There's a devil in the rules. There's a devil in the rules. Which reminds me about what Spirit's been saying about human authority versus, or like in comparison to spiritual authority. Like, Spirit gave us free will, but did we really check in with Spirit when we built the infrastructure and institution? That's a big question. Okay. How can one really know? People, you know. Okay. I also heard we just got political. That felt like a Coven direction. We just got political. When have we not been, though? Something else? Interesting. Oh, interesting. You know what? I just saw lightning for the first time 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago. We don't get a lot of lightning here. There was lightning. I like a lot of it. Interesting. Okay, hold on. A devil in the rules. A devil in the rules played by fools. That's a lot. One of the things that the spirits have told me through the years, it's like a phrasing that they use. Rules are for fools. Because when do you follow the rules? You follow the rules when you don't know any better. Or when there's danger. You follow the rules when you don't know how to get around them. Rules are for fools. Which is not a bad thing. We need rules at the beginning. We need rules when we don't understand. We need them in context, right? Okay. But who follows them? Fools do. If you know what you're doing, you play by your own rules. I was just having that conversation in live stream 2 nights ago. When was I on last? I don't know. That live stream though. I was having that conversation with a client. There was somebody who bought a live stream reading, and what was the context of it? It was trickster. It was a trickster conversation. Talk about the crossroads coming up basically every single day. Also, it's Saturday, so there's that. But talk about the crossroads coming up basically every single day for like months now in my world. Interesting. It's not necessarily rules are for folks who can't think for themselves. Also, that's true. I feel like the don't have discernment part, you could still have discernment and not understand. That's a weird one. They're 2 different spectrums, but they do correlate. You know? You can have discernment but not have all the information. Still a fool. And that's okay. I think we've all been in that position. And I'm okay with that. You know? Crazy. So weird. Also, thanks for being here. Okay, let's go back to this. Hold on. Devil in the rules. Play it for the fools. We got a lot to learn about that. Hold on. Something going into this is gonna be dangerous. And I'm not saying that to freak anybody out. If you have been looking at what's going on in the world, we're gonna contextualize it, okay? Dusk and nighttime. You know how they say be home before the street lights are on? Get back before the street lights are on. Stay inside. You're a pretty beautiful person inside. Don't go out after the lights are out. Unless you know you're down to ride. Unless you can really, don't leave the house. Don't leave the house. We're gonna be going through, this is for people who are just stopping in. If you've like popped in. Full moon in Aquarius, July 29th. Okay, context again. Stay inside. Stay inside. Let the war ride be what it is. Keep yourself where you need to be. A turn of the times. A turn of the times. A turn of the times. Which my spirits have been starting to keep me inside more recently too. For a while they were like, go out and live your life. Do what you want. About a month ago, maybe a little over a month. Serious. Very serious. Very immediately. And it's starting to get more serious. Okay. Also, I'm a little chilly. I'm gonna go turn my AC off. It's hot out today, but it's cold in here. Give me just a second. I'm gonna be right back, but I gotta go that way. So. Also, do what you feel like you feel called to do to make sure you can protect your loved ones and you. I know I've been called to do certain things that I will not speak on right now, but I know I've been called to do certain things to make sure that I can take care of things. The spirits have also been training me. Fear. Can I tell this story? Let's tell a story about working with this kind of energy. Also, I should probably plug my phone in at some point. Hold on, because my big charger is out I'm gonna be right back again. There's a lot of up and down, but we're gonna get it transitioned and then I have more information. Give me just another second. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Thank you. And I appreciate you. Woo woo. Let's get this plugged in. So my spirits have been using dreams to train me out of my fear. So they'll give me dreams, horrible nightmares. Horrible nightmares. I mean, like, I wake up terrified, nightmares. Normally recently, I don't have like a physical reaction to them. But recently, I've been having just like, for like recently being about 2 months, month and a half time frame, you know? Exactly, okay? Exactly. And it's very specific related to that situations, terrifying. And they've been training my fear out of me. So if it ever happens, I'm able to precisely handle. Every single dream, I've failed. Except for recently. Earlier this week, there's a dream that I had that with Morrigan. I love her. So much reverence to her. When she came into my life, hard time. Time of justice also, talking about justice stuff. Interesting. Yeah, I've been dreaming similar things. Not exactly, but similar. Also, yeah, she is so good. You know? Yeah. Interesting. So, when she came into my life, it was like a feeling. And like I could hear her. You know, she was like coming in to nurture me. Recently, she does she does other things for me too. Love her. And nightmares are one of her domains. I know she's a part of that training work. So the other night, I like barely, and I mean barely, sort of, but I passed this dream test. All this training of the fear. I passed this dream test and I saw her probably for the first time ever. For the first time, she revealed herself to me. I've felt her and I've heard her and like, I know when she's like, I can tell when it's her, you know? But for the first time, it was kind of like this, honestly. This sticker that I have of a plague doctor. It looked kind of like that. The back, but it was very like dream oriented and very like mysterious. And I woke up from that dream. I was still in between the dreamy space. And I woke up, sort of, and I could see this red background that like faded out at the edges. And then she was standing there in this like massive queen, like her shoulders were up. She had the big like, you know how the veil, I guess, on the collar. Yeah. Big shoulders, big collar. And I saw her kind of like standing there looking at me. And I felt like that revealing of her to me, like, kind of like I revere you also. It's very strange. So if your spirits are working with you with certain aspects of this, remain in that. Okay, let's look a little further. Also, let me double check. I've gotten up a couple times. I don't know that we've had any personals come through, but I'm gonna double check just to make sure. Because this is a big collective one. So just to be prepared. Hold on. Just to be prepared. No, we have not had any personals come through yet. Okay, let's return to this. I'm also going to have a chocolate. A little bit of a reset, but also we're not there yet. Hold on. Remember the full moon in Capricorn? But the chat is, listen, I hear you. And I love you and I hear you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so let's recenter. Full moon in Capricorn, something revealed to you in the darkness, keep it tight. Full moon in Aquarius, a war night. That's the phrasing. Okay. It's going to move quick. Things are going to start moving very quickly once we reach that full moon in Aquarius. One thing after the other. On a world level. On a bigger scale. Really take your time to be prepared. Things are going to start moving very, very quickly. Not the countdown time, goodness. What did we talk about? Rules are for fools. Guess what came out? The Fool. The Fool facing the Goddess. This landed on my candle. I tried to pick it up, but I dropped it. The Goddess candle. It landed on this that I have right here. Which is interesting. This is interesting timing. Spirit always preps me. You know, I was just talking about this the other day. Hold on. Let's take another side tangent. Conversation. Okay. Conversation. I have candles in front of me. Okay. Specifically for a war working that I channeled with Coven stuff. And I was just talking for Coven stuff. It's going to be a ritual placed for Coven. Different than what we've already done. For new. Okay. Gorgeous. So, also interesting. Also, gorgeous. All right. Let's return. A war working. Very specific. Very direct. A lot of order, a lot of structure, and a lot of placement of very specific order and timing for this ritual. It's probably one of the most specific rituals I've ever received. Which is also kind of crazy because I do a lot of, anyways though. One of the most specific rituals I've ever received. Noted. And I was thinking about it earlier. A couple nights ago. It's just been on my mind. Motherhood is strange. I've seen in my practice that a lot of the times when the spirits need me to be mom, when the spirits need me to stand up as mom and be mother, they'll place me around things before a person, before they go through something crazy, or a ritual before, and I might not know why yet, before something's about to come up. Before, do it before, but we're not going to tell you everything. And now you understand. So this war ritual was given to me a little less than it was like a month ago, around that. And there's a specific time I'm going to practice it. So it's not time yet, but we're going to get there. And war. And then things are going to move quick. Something else. Hold on. Also, when I passed that, big snake today, keep your wits about you. That came back into my brain. Keep your wits about you. A candle that looks like it's about to go out, but then you have a reason, how do I explain this? A reason to never light a flame again? Not exactly, but kind of. It's like somebody else, like a irreputable, infinite source of fire. Whoa. Head to this Discord. So good. Yeah. Yeah, Discord. The Discord is a good place to ask those kinds of questions. And if people in the chat can't answer them, always tag me. You guys can tag me. Yeah. Yeah, because I cannot keep up with all of it. I check in and I, look at things, but keeping up with all of it is a lot. So just reference to that, Perpetual motion, yeah. So it's going to look like a flame is going to go out. This feels like a personal thing. All of this warfare stuff going on. Also, I think I am going to try to record this and put it up on YouTube later because holy cow, first of all. Secondly, back to this. This feels like a personal thing. Like, oh, the light is dwindling. Oh, there's no hope left. That's what this feels like. Like we're going to see the darkest day, the darkest night. That's what this feels like. But then an irreputable, more infinite source of fire. Here we are. You never have to light a fire again. Because there's fire for you always. Don't worry about it. Fairy fire also. Look at this. Fairy magic is reproductive. So a fire that reproduces. Okay. Let's look a little further. There was a couple more that came out. Other fire. Interesting. Okay, let's talk about placement. At the beginning of this section of the reading, the tower, placed like this, is it destruction or is it creation? Because they're definitely both happening at the same time. One of the things also, Odin has taught me this specifically. War is a creative energy. Very violent, very dangerous, also creative. Nations get built and destroyed. Laws get made and destroyed. So there's creation in a very, 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 very hard, structured sort of way. And we've been talking about war stuff, okay? It looks like there's a lot of fire that's about to go out, but this landed like this, on top of it. So is it creation or is it destruction? Because it's surely both. Big picture, world stuff. Full moon in Aquarius, July 29th. Big picture, world stuff. The world is going through a transition. Things are burning down, but candles are also getting built. And candles getting built. That came up the other night. Hold on, I wrote it down. I knew I was gonna need it. Hold on. A candle being built from a book. Why are we going to need that? Candles are being built, but they're also being burned down. The world is going through a transition. Some people's fires are going to go out. Other people's fires are going to return. And the gold part. Offer your work, that's true. I remember that now. Thank you. A candle being built from a book, offer your work to the spirits as you do it. Because I saw somebody working in a book and as they offered it to the spirits, the letters turned to gold. And then that was the candle. That whole process turned into the candle. And then eventually you lit it and it burned down. More on that. Hold on. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. And you know what? Spirit told me. We're going to talk about this. Spirit told me. We're doing that coven work. Justice. I haven't really talked about this on TikTok. I've talked about it on the Substack because it's the big blog of all the instructions is over there. So I haven't really talked about it on I know I love it when they come back around too. Also this is a collective. Privates are open today if you would like to receive a private. If you go to the website, you go to live stream readings, there's going to be 3 different options. And I do them first come, first serve. So if you want to get on the list, I am going to wrap this one up, just a heads up. But yeah, also true. Yeah, also thank you for asking, for sure. Okay, let's return to this for a moment. Because... Also, dude, my phone is blowing up. I don't know who is trying to call me, but talk about perpetual motion. I'm perpetually getting calls. leave it be. All right. Come back to this for a second. So, world is transitioning. Some people's fires are going to go out. Also, these are on books. Do we see that? The other thing I'm thinking about right now, wait, let me go back to the coven work. We're doing a coven work year-long, once a month, for justice and war right now. And Spirit told me when I was putting that working together, because it's a big one, 13 months. We're doing it for 13 months. We started April, and our final one will be April 2027. Okay. Got it. Spirit told me, you're going to earn more than you think with this. There's like a prophecy with some of the dates. If you go to the blog, you'll see it. It's in the, if you go to the Coven Discord, there's an organized ritual list. If you're interested in it, there's an organized ritual list and it's going to be in there. It's a justice and war working. There's 4 different parts to it. There's the justice water work, slow down, not just stuff, assist and support justice in the highest elevation. Pour the water out on government land. Second thing is a fire offering for war in the highest elevation. Third thing is it the self-invocating water and fire in the body and imbuing it with love. Gorgeous. Fourth thing, prayer. Those are the 4 parts. You can pick one. You could do multiple. You could do all of them. There's more instruction over on the thing. Okay, because it's a lot. But Spirit told me when I was putting that together, we're going to earn more than we think. And there's like little prophecies with some of the dates. Interesting. Strange. Okay. The other thing I'm thinking about right now. Yes, I did. Listen. Okay, let's talk about it for a second. Remember earlier, if you've been in the chat long enough, when I said, oh, we just got political? Also, I am going to go back through and I'm going to record this. I'm going to put it up on YouTube. Yeah. I'll probably send it out on Substack too. So if you want to get it over on the Substack, I'll probably send out a post with it. I need to do that. There's another one that I recorded that I also need to. Also, I'm currently recording. Good. Does it let you record the audio on your side? I've always wondered that. You know? Also, I do. My altar is ginormous. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Crazy. The other thing I'm thinking about, one of the things that I really, yeah, Substack shout out. Yeah. I'll say that for sure if you want to DM me. I don't know that I will answer. I have a lot of things that I have to do. But if you're looking to book a session, that is part of the ways that I'm booking sessions right now. So, gorgeous. Okay. But also, if you have information around this stuff, also totally fine. Again, I don't know that I'll get back to you, but you feel free to message me. Okay. Come back to this. Hold on. We got recenter again. Hold on. Come back. It's not that you're under attack. It is about to be black, which I'm being reminded right now of several readings I've done for individuals, like in live streams. It's been for individuals where it was like them figuring out how to navigate without any light, no candle, no nothing, just in the dark of night when you're completely and totally blind. And because if you think about the Hunger Games, if you light a fire, it's warm, but you're in more danger because people can see you, right? So navigating. Also, guess this is a general. Welcome. This is a big collective reading. This is a big one. If you light the fire, people will be able to see you. It's a dangerous time, right? Okay. A perpetual source of fire also is coming in. Strange calling, okay? Strange calling. A strange calling. I also am feeling bestowed to you. Bestowed to you. A strange calling bestowed to you. Strange. Yeah, and also yes. Kayla Moon, yes. Using intuition to direct you through the dark spaces you can't see. Yeah, you know. Interesting. Yeah. Listen, Love Hakate. That was a great one. That was a good one. Okay. We're gonna give reverence. A strange calling. We're gonna give reverence. Probably something you're working on now. We're gonna return to this. Okay. This being the reading. Some people's flames are gonna go out. Some people's flames are gonna come back. World is changing. the Coven stuff. Let me go back to that because that's what I've been trying to get to. We're in a lot of circle stuff right now. One of the things I really want to start, opening up a library, personal Coven books, library, temple, library. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me. I've had visions about it. I'm so excited. So, something I've been working on mentally, spiritually for years. We're getting ready. It's not quite time to like, but we're getting there. Okay. Also, next. God is up that night. Thank you for that. One of the things I really want to start, preservation of grimoire program. Think about all the practitioners who are practicing right now who are not going to have anyone to pass their grimoires down to, who are living in a time, thank you, Spirit, where we have more practitioners openly and publicly practicing now than we've had in a very long time. Hundreds of years. Grimoire preservation program. That's the other thing this reminds me of. Interesting. Grimoire preservation program. Part of me wants to put a little thing up on my website like today. Part of me wants to be like, right now. We're doing it right now. Right now. But there's also part of me that is like, right now? Maybe I need to talk to Spirit about that, to be honest with you. I'm going to write it down. Hold on. Because if I'm talking about it and I need to talk about it, let me write it down. Okay. Allow me a moment. Grimoire preservation program. Yeah, talk to Spirit about it. Talk to Spirit. I also have a gift me a book link if you in my website. It's Amazon. Okay. I know we don't like it over there, but they're also the only website that allows me to keep my information private. I try to do it on thrifted books, but you have to keep your like address public, and I'm not cool with that. That is not okay with me. So, but if you want to gift a book to the library, it is over there. Okay. Talk to Spirit about it. Gorgeous. I know, right? Yeah. Crazy. Like, why? Why? I read it and got burned last time. Interesting. I know, I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but hold on. I need to talk to Spirit about it. Break it down. Break it down. Let me write that down too. Break it down. I need the details. Break it down. Details. Break it down. Details. Break it down. Details. Okay. A grimoire preservation program. Yeah, no, I'm way too paranoid. Yeah. And there's hundreds of thousands of y'all who follow me on the internet. You know what I mean? I'm cool. Please keep my address private. Okay. So that's why it's over there. But if you do want to send me a book, there's a list of books, but if you have one that you want to send, you can also send that instead of what's on the list. So just so you know. Okay. Because we're doing it. It is happening. Yeah. We're doing it. It's happening. Okay. Here we go. This is a lot. Where do we need to go from here, Spirit? Let's pick these back up. This is a lot and it's hot. Like, don't burn your hand. Hot on the skillet. It's hot. About to cook something hot on the skillet. Interesting. Award. 2 awards. I have scissors and the blade over here. They're right next to each other. 2 awards? Technically, a scissor has 2 blades on it, you know? How do we carry this energy safely? Preparation. Let us look at the fate cards. Let us look at preparation. How has Spirit been preparing you? That's going to be the first check-in. Look at what is being prepared in your world and how Spirit's preparing you. Let's look at general things too. Hold on. For guidance and direction. Okay. Preparation. There's going to be more information than also that. More information than also that. Remember the justice stuff that's coming in? It's the justice card. It flipped up and it landed, it balanced on my thumb. Like, flock of birds flew over. Beautiful. Good. I also, when I pulled this card, I heard, what do you mean preparation? Don't you realize justice is going to be there? That could be good, bad, or neutral depending on how you are and who you are. I also heard we never escape the ticking clock. The clicking talk. The ticking clock. Oh my God. We never escape the ticking clock of life and death. Like, that's the context of it. We never escape the ticking clock. What do you mean preparation? What do you mean preparation? Justice is going to be there. Which means you're either prepared or you're not. I'm seeing somebody in a court case. Like, if you know justice is going to be there, don't you want to have all the evidence and all witnesses of character? You want witnesses of scenario and situation. You want all of the evidence that could be possible. You want scientific backing and people who can, like, you know, back up the evidence. Yes, this is a thing. So it doesn't get refuted and thrown out. You want all of it. You want the hidden stuff too. You want hidden for you. Oh, eavesdropping while working. LOL. Also, resetting the wards. Good. I've been refining contracts recently as well. Good for you. Good stuff has started to come through. If that's true for you, protect it. Good. What do you mean preparation? Justice is going to be there. Okay. Let's look a little further though, because we do have some other things to look at. What do you mean justice? We are going to have... Give me a little bit of time. It's not time for me to do this war working yet, but there is going to be a war working available on the website soon for this specifically. Pretty specifically, honestly. This is kind of weird. I wasn't really sure why I was doing the war working, but it's a lot. It's a big one. It literally takes up like 3 or 4 pages in my grimoire. In my grimoire that is like big page grimoire. Crazy. Okay. The fire's gonna burn and we're gonna move on. Justice, interesting. Justice is gonna put the fire out? For who though? Remember, part of the reading is some people's fires are gonna go out, and if people are waging war in a not just way, fires will burn another day, but not today. It's not that they'll burn another day. How else do I say that? The light's gonna go out. Let me be direct about it. The light of that is gonna go out. But people who have a just war, and that goes for, how do I explain this? Oppressor roots. Anybody can access magic. People who are doing magic that are still have not been deconstructing that. We are human. Give yourself grace if you're working on it. And people who like blatantly ignore it, that's different. Because you got to be patient and give yourself the grace if you're working on it, while you're working on it. And still pick it up and do it. It's both. Okay. But if people are not working on it, that's a different story. I'm also thinking too, this is not me trying to upsell this. That's not what this is. But there is a death to the oppressors working that I have in my shop. And I questioned when I was putting it up, and my spirits were like, put it in there. Put it up. I was like, okay. You know? Crazy. Okay, let's look at this. Fire burning. Justice is going to put out. It's going to be on an individual level. And that kind of came up earlier too. That the flame's getting put out and the flame's starting again. And I'm thinking back to, it was right after we did the first War and Justice working with the Coven. I want to give context to what this could look like, because the story keeps popping in my head. There was an argument that I had with the person who at the time I would consider a friend. We were talking about stuff, and I knew while we were talking about it, no, that person is wrong. So I'm going to stand on it. And I felt afterwards, I had to break it down. I was like, I know, and thank you, Spirit, for this awareness. I was like, that had to do with that working. Because my fire, now I normally don't fight like that, but I wouldn't let it go. I tried to cool it. We moved away from it in the conversation. And then to contextualize what I was about to say, I brought it back up as just literally a point. And they wanted to fight about it. And I said, no, let's not talk about it. And they still wanted to fight about it. Okay, if you want to fight about it, I'm going to fight about it. I know I'm not wrong. Their feelings got hurt. They left. I didn't have any regret about it, though. Because I've also processed a lot around what we were talking about. It was pretty sensitive information. So we'll leave that be. And to contextualize, justice in me said, let the fire burn then. Let it burn then. Let it burn then. Okay. So to give context of story time of what that might look like. Okay. I tried to be like, hey, Joe. I tried to put the fire out over there, but because the fire wasn't going out, I said, okay, well, I'm going to have the fire then. You know, I didn't know that's what was happening at the time. I went back and like broke it down afterwards, but strange. You know, strange. You know, clarity can be a bit bright. Honestly, sometimes the truth is not supposed to be something that we like all the time. Sometimes the truth is horrible. Sometimes the truth is so dark you wish you didn't know. Or so gross, so ugly, which isn't always dark. Sometimes it is so bright, you know? If we don't give context or shadow or light, it's easy lumpy. Yeah, not fun. You know? Okay. Is there anything else we need to know before we go? There is a little bit, hold on. What is it going to be about? More maybe preparation things. Fate. Heartache, heartbreak. Let's talk about that for a second. Being done. Interesting. If you get cut off from nurturing your heart. Also, yes, I'll be on tomorrow. Shout out. Also, let me double check. I don't think we've had any personals come in, but I'm just going to double check. Hold on. Because I know somebody asked me earlier. Hold on. Nobody yet. Okay, hold on. I'm literally, this is weird. And we're gonna be kind of weird for a second. I'm literally sitting in like a birthing position. I have my footstool out and I have my legs up and I'm like chilling. You can't really see because I keep it off the screen, right? Because it's my business, whatever. And the birth card, there's like a gap in between my seat and the footstool. There's like a space. The card that represents birth landed where I can see it from here, but it's reversed. So the birth of death. You can, the Lunamore Crystal Co. Email me or there's a contact page on my website. You can send me a message on Discord, send me a DM on here. Cool. Yeah. But yes. And yes. Okay. But yeah, I landed right there. I can see it. And I'm like sitting in a birthing position. Awesome. Yeah, of course. I'm like sitting in a birthing position. The birth of death. If you get cut off from nurturing your heart, there's a restart. A burning bright. Birthing a transformation. Yeah. Birthing an end. Birthing an end. End to what? End to, is it a cycle? End to birthing an end. Interesting. Strange. Justice and the goddess are working together. Ever so lightly, be so clever. Justice and the goddess are working together. Ever so lightly, be so clever. Hold on. Someone's going to walk away. The spiritual community is also going to really change with what's happening. I can't really see what it is. I just got like a whiff of the air. Spiritual community is going to change. If things are going to get this serious, we're going to be in a different framework of community, you know? So we're going to have a different relation to our practices and to each other within those practices. One of the things that I have noticed, I say this with the preface of accountability, always a thing. Okay. Reverence to love and justice. Okay. One of the things I don't like seeing happen, though, is squabbles between practitioners when resolution could be less hard. You know? Take care of yourself out there. Take care of yourself out there. I'm not saying it's wrong. I myself, we listened to that earlier if you have been here the whole time. There are certain practitioners I've also had to go up against. There's nothing wrong with it. And I just wish we could all come together. It's like my hopeful, optimistic part of me. Boop. I wish we could all come together and just do the stuff, man. But we're here, so. Heartbreak. Why is heartbreak coming up? If this heart stops being nurtured, it is heartbreak to face. And then a return. Interesting. Wait, hold on. I need to read that one. Nyx, the primordial entity of night and space, birthed the entity of death. Even Zeus fears Nyx. You said and. I have a feeling you're typing another message. You're interesting for that. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, I'm going to wait for your next message because I feel like I really need to read it. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to eat chocolate and I'm going to read it when it pops up. If there's not another one, that's also okay. But it looks like there's going to be one because you said and. That was really full of raspberry. Interesting. This is one of the decks we're reading with. Interesting. They do have a to-do list, it's true. The main channels, not on your list. You mean like in the pages, like the ones we chatted? The mods take requests for rooms sometimes. We haven't had one in a while, I don't think, but they'll take requests for them. Yeah. You can message one of them, or you can add them in the living room, probably. But see if it fits into one of those categories. Okay. Why are we looking at the book? The book? A candle comes from the book? A book. Not the letters on this also being gold. Not this also being gold. A candle being built from a book. Offer your work to the spirits as you do it. And the letters in the book turn gold, which then is like the burning candle. Eternal. I remember that from that reading. Eternal. An eternal burning candle. Hold on. We're going to flip to a page. 32? Also, first the Emperor, and then 32. Key words. Words that are keys. Bringing to life, crystallization, new projects, confidence. I never read these things. I've been reading tarot for a long time. I never read these, but we're going to read it. Weird. Okay. Like a child. We're going to read a book together. Here we go. Bringing to life, crystallization, new projects, confidence, wisdom. Also, I don't know why crystallization is spelled with an S, not a Z. I don't know what is the proper one, but it's being spelled with an S kind of bothers me. I'm not sure where that's coming from. But it's their art, so, like, that's chill. But also the Discord is in the menu of the website. Also, I just put up my merch today. If anybody wants, there's a bunch of prints. There's some bikinis for the summer. There's some sweatshirts. A gratitude reference I love sweatshirt. If you want to go check it out. There's a Coven beanie. There's a protest flag. That was fun. Out of date. Okay, hold on. Let me update it. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Not the out of date server settings. I just updated it, so I don't know why. I didn't know why it says that, but I'm going to go double check it. Hold on. Copy. You sometimes the protest flag will be the easiest purchase of my life. It's a fun. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Maybe look at it first before you said that, but yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me go change the screen. It's a little more than PG. I'll leave it there. You can look if you want. Okay. Hold on. Let me get serious. Let me go change this. Coven. I mean, it's the same one. Try it again and see if it happens. Invalid or expired. ¿Por qué? It should work. Hold on. I don't know why. Try this. If this doesn't work, we have another issue. Take the browser link of the website and copy and paste it into a browser outside of TikTok. Sometimes Discord doesn't open from TikTok because it's TikTok. I don't know if it's a TikTok block or not, but I already tried it. Dang it. Why is it not working? 'Tis the link that we have in the one that I just copied. For why? Can I just say it to you? I don't know why that's not working. It's discord.gg/Coven invite. Ah, okay, good. Discord.gg/Coven invite. That's the one. Hopefully it works. I hope it works. I'm gonna do my little dance. Hope it works. Let it work. I don't know if that's gonna help, but I hope it does. Ooh. Yeah, discord.gg/Coven invite. I don't know. Can you hear that little clicky sound? Do you hear that? I can hear it. Hold on. Let me figure out what this is. Why are you making that noise? Maybe. I have a bottle full of homemade cleaner that probably needs to get dumped out, but it was making a weird noise. Strange. No, it literally is this. Hold on. It's like that nozzle, but this is not. I reuse these. It was brewing for sure. I reuse these. So this is, I like make my floor wash and then I put it in this and then I scrub my floors. Like I'll spray it down and I scrub my floors. But so it's homemade. It's you can see it's a different color. It's a homemade brew because that's what I do. But yeah, it's been sitting in here for maybe a little too long. Sorry, I'm gonna get that cleaned. I'm just gonna let it be. It's not gonna explode. Okay. Oh, let's go back for a second. The Emperor is a card. Why do I feel like we need to read this? I don't know. Also card 4. Okay. The Emperor is a card of launching new projects, bringing to life what was created in the Empress's womb. Not with the birth card in the death position, in the birthing position, on the ground. The Emperor. Look at the masculine in your life. Friends, fathers, partners, son, also. Masculine, if that's applicable to you. If not, don't worry about it. Also, you might have a kid and it might not be applicable. Discern, okay? Not trying to speak things over the babies that don't need to be spoken over the babies. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Also that too. Personal masculine. Okay. The Emperor is also a card of power, shining and benevolent, and even paternalistic. Birthing stuff. Here the Emperor, there's a lot more to that, but also that. Here the Emperor represents the sun at its zenith. Litha? Hold on. Litha. That word has a lot to say. Litha. Meaning? Hold on. A pagan Wiccan festival marking the summer solstice. Oh. Between June 19th and 22nd. Celebrates the longest day, shortest night. Also known as midsummer. Rooted in ancient Celtic and Germanic traditions. The name itself comes from an Anglo-Saxon word for midsummer. Interesting. Okay. And we're talking about July. We're talking the time frame we've been talking about for literally this entire reading. Full moon in Capricorn, June 29th. No, yeah, June 29th. So just after this to July 29th, full moon in Aquarius. Interesting. Okay. The sun becomes the benevolent father who warms and protects you and enables you to eat in the long winter months in its absence. The Emperor is surrounded by multiple symbols of the sun in many cultures. The 4-petal flower of Kinik Ahau. I could be saying that wrong. There's other words I might be saying wrong. Okay, so just a heads up. The rays of Amaterasu, the serpent of Re, R-E, and the ideogram of Shamash. A lot of things I never heard of before, honestly. Not right now for the details, but we're going to keep going. Okay. Among others, confidence, protection, and motivation are the feelings that accompany this bright, powerful card. Traditional keywords: stability, domination, power, responsibility, rationalism, solidarity, order, strength, paternity, mastering the material world. I don't think I've ever looked at the Emperor as a father. But I suppose there's a traditional right of emperors having kids. Makes sense. Interesting. Helping the Empress, because the Empress is before. Helping the Empress birth. All right. Interesting. Also, I said page 32 in my brain. Let's go back to 32, because that was page 40. 34. The Fool? Page 32. The Fool. Of course, why wouldn't it be? You know? Interesting. Also interesting. Interesting. Okay. The sorceress embarks on a spiritual path. A new spiritual path? What was I just talking about? Our relation to spiritual practice and community is going to change with all this stuff going on? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it for a while. I have a feeling. Here we are. Okay. The Fool represents the starting point of a sorcerer's journey. Who is she? If you are not a she, please relate as necessary. Okay, but I'm going to read it as it is written. All right. Who is she? Is she embarking on her spiritual path and mourning her broom for the first time, or is she already on a journey that was begun long before? One thing is sure, she is moving and she still has many things to explore and discover. She has chosen to be a sorceress. Choice is a weird thing, and live marginally, and to define herself in this way. In doing so, she knows she will have to struggle against preconceived notions, but that her path will be filled with magic, enchantment, and occasional mistakes that will help her grow. She is accompanied by her symbols of the 4 elements, her broom, black cat, and mortar and pestle for her potions, and she might have inherited these from Baba Yaga. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you, Baba Yaga. I love Baba Yaga. Interesting. Baba Yaga. With the chicken feet. Baba Yaga with the chicken feet. I was just talking to somebody the other day about them bringing me some chicken feet. Interesting. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. Okay, well, that's it. We're done. We're gonna move on. Okay, she is. She is also like creatrix of fates, really big fates. At least in how I relate to her. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. That's one of my first spiritual tools I was given as a child. I think I was probably like 7 or 8. I was given a chicken foot. There's a couple other things I was given, but I was given a chicken foot. I carried that thing for a long time. And then I stopped eating meat. I didn't understand it yet. I didn't understand the spiritual practice of it yet, you know. And I got rid of it. Should have kept it. But, you know, Baba Yaga's good. I should have kept it. But that's okay. Neither here nor there for now. Come back to this. All right. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. I feel like that's like, for me, that's like a celebratory song. Baba Yaga doesn't always work in celebratory stuff. But that feels like a celebratory song. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. Or like a really happy one. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. I could see like people like dancing around for her too. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga, 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 Baba Yaga. Okay. She is the Fool, and she is getting ready. Baba Yaga, well, I guess Baba Yaga probably does understand the position of the Fool. Anyways, back to the point. She, the sorceress, is the Fool, and she is getting ready to visit with the major arcana of the tarot, and with all the innocence of a new adventurer or the excitement of renewing an adventure at her own pace and in her own way. She is unique. I do have a P.O. box. It's on the website at the bottom. Okay, keywords, travel, interesting. Evolution, interesting. We're going to look at this for a second. Travel? I heard placement. Travel for what, for where, for who, for why, for when. Placement. I also heard consecration. Good, for you. Take it on through. Travel, evolution, detachment, exploration, marginality, journeying, fragility, freedom. I'm thinking about the coven work we did to be rooted in liberation, free, and truth in the highest elevation, freedom. We did that in a fool's position, but here we are. We're still going, you know? Yeah, also thanks. I appreciate it. So good. Okay, traditional keywords, travel. Of course, it's the first one of both. Interesting. Searching, strangeness, freedom, chaos, madness. Yeah, the Fool is a little mad. You know? You know, I haven't figured it out yet. You don't understand it, but it's big. Detachment, lack of judgment. I carry little satchels and pouches on my bag like that too. Yeah, she got a little broomstick, but she got little bags. She got these little bags on the side. Some of you have seen my bag before, but it looks almost exactly like that, which is strange. I have a hip bag. I wear this on my hip. And I carry little, like, charms, some bones on the side. Crazy. Weird, also. Strange, weird. Okay. I can feel we're almost getting wrapped up with this. That's what this feels like. Is there anything else? Why we get the book out? Why we get the book out? Also, the bones, it's raven vertebrae, crow vertebrae. And then it's a deer antler. Yeah. The bunny head that I found in my parking lot is officially done, like being processed for preservation. Yeah. Yep. That was pretty incredible. Spirit just dropped a bunny head off. I don't know, it was an animal probably in the parking lot where I lived. And I was walking to the cafe up the street to get coffee, but they were about to close. And I thought it was a piece of trash in the parking lot. I pass it and I look down and I was like, oh my God, is that a bunny head? But I knew I had to go get coffee because they were going to close. So I go and I come back. And I was thinking about it kind of the whole way back. I was like, I got to check that. I got to see. Sure enough, is a whole bunny head sitting in the parking lot. It was a little squished. It's in a parking lot. But I was like, I checked it out. I was like, okay, let me run inside and grab a bag. And so I preserved it. I got a bunny head. That's crazy. Okay. A bunny head. If a bunny foot gives you luck, which I was gifted a bunny foot recently too. But if a bunny foot, what does a bunny head do? The head of a bunny? Thoughts of luck? Roots of luck? The feet? Thoughts of luck? The head? They go together? Quite interesting. Okay. The book. Grimoire Preservation Program. I gotta pray today. That's what I gotta do. I gotta get off of here and I gotta pray. I gotta talk to Spirit. I gotta talk to Spirit. I gotta talk to Spirit. I gotta talk to the spirits. I gotta talk to him because I gotta figure this out. Feels like a next step, you know? Interesting. I did a little research on how to preserve it, you know? So a nest of baby bunnies. Aww. We had baby bunnies in our yard once as kids. That was kind of cool. They were, you know, yeah. Lucky hearing. You're right. Hearing things at the right place. Lucky hearing. Luck. Luck has been. I love that. Luck has been around me recently, like a lot. Interesting. What'd you crash at? Oh, go cleanse yourself. Go cleanse. Go cleanse. Go cleanse. Go get it off of you. Go cleanse. You know, I gotta cleanse too. Not for the same reasons, but also I'm a human. You know, crazy. Bunny sites. Yeah, I keep seeing them. I keep seeing them all over the place. One of them, they keep right in front of my bike. Crazy. Yeah. The Uki's feeling. Yeah, go clean that. Go clean it off of you. Get it off. Get that off of you. Hakata has dogs. I was thinking about that the other day. So good. And cats have for weasels. Really? And like ferrets. Weasels and ferrets. And like otters. And like, hello, welcome in. Interesting. We're going to work this for a second. This reading, you know? Oh, good. Oh, so good. Enjoy your tending to the house spirits. So good. So good, so good, so good. We're going to work this for a second. What do we need to do? I'm going to go replay this. I'm going to record it. I'm probably going to watch it for myself too. Because whenever I record collective stuff, listen, if you want to get the email, go to Substack. I'm going to send it out later. It'll be on YouTube. Gorgeous. But interesting. But yeah, I'm going to put this up. I need to turn my readings off. Hold on. I don't think we've had anyone come in, but I need to turn this off. Give me a second. No, not this one. Take me to the page that I need. This one. Merch is up on the website too. If you want to check it out. So good. There's a bunch of prints of my artwork from my death era. Crazy. There's a couple bikinis. One of them says Crazy Witch on the back on the bottom in tattoo font. It's a very niche thing, but I like it a lot. There's also going to be some hoodies. There's a Gratitude, Reverence, and Love hoodie. Gorgeous. Love it. What else is up there? There's a I Heart Daddy Saturn hoodie. I'm excited to order that one for myself too. So good. Also, no, I still have not gone to the P.O. box. I literally was talking about it the other day. I'm finally starting to get caught up on everything. Thank the gods. Thank the gods. I have been behind for months. And finally, I feel like I have my grip on it almost. You know? We're getting there. Sort of. There's always something to do, right? And this back end of the website stuff has been a whole thing. Because I've had to go through, I had to get not only tax licensing for sales tax in the county, or in the city I live in. I also had to get it for the state I live in. And then there's also county stuff on top of that, but that comes with the state licensing. And then my songs, I had to get those redistributed. I had to get all the prints uploaded on the, and then on top of that, I've had client sessions. My personal life has been altering drastically in the previous 2-3 months. So that has been kind of not all of my time, but it has been a thing that's been happening for good. And still a thing. So there's that. I'm learning how to rest also, which is, it's been a lot. So I'm catching up, but I'm finally catching up. I literally got the house cleaned. It took me 3 days to clean my apartment because I got this room set up. I got the other room set up and then I cleaned everything. After I got everything clean, I was like, I feel caught up finally. I haven't felt that way basically since I moved here. That was in October. I finally feel caught up again. I was like, okay, if my house is in order, my work stuff will be in order soon too. So yeah, what is rest? It's a good question. I'm in my Saturn return and my Saturn is in Aries. That's a great question. I haven't had much of that in my life. I've gotten a lot of it at times. I'm not going to complain. And wild. Yeah. Golly. Yeah, a lot of paperwork stuff. It is. Oh, goodness gracious. Is there anything else? Heartbreak, heartache. Why are we looking at this one before we go? Hold on. I saw somebody with this tattooed on them today. Not the square on the outside. I know the bikinis are fun, aren't they? I ordered myself the Crazy Witch one, and they're made out of mostly recycled material. Shout out to the supplier, That's crazy. Shout out to the change. That's crazy, crazy. Also, I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off. We're going to sit here for another moment and digest this and rest it, but crazy. Also, I need to unplug this so that my computer doesn't die. All right. Also, I could probably close my computer, to be honest. Hold on now. There we go. Gorgeous. Okay. Also, thanks. I love my art. That's all the stuff. Most of that, not all of it, but most of it got, thanks. Yeah, most of that got burned in a fire. Noted. But I did it on purpose. Yeah, different time in my life. It's a death era for a reason. I deleted all of my music off of the internet. I burned all of my paintings. I had a collection of 150 paintings. It was a lot. And some of them were massive. Some of them were 5 feet tall. The big ones. Yeah. But they had to go. I just felt it one night. I was like, I gotta get rid of all of this. Yeah, literally rising from the ashes. Literally. Crazy. So, but yeah, my website like the music is redistributed. Finally, I have new stuff in the works too, but for another time. We're not there yet. But I just wanted to get the old stuff like reimagined again, you know? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. So I got the prints up. I have to get my new artwork up for print stuff, but the old era is back. Now I can start working on the new stuff, which is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Also, thanks. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. We're going to have a lot of changing. We're going to have a coven working for order up soon. We have a lot of stuff going on. Interesting. We're going to work with this one. Hold on. Heartbreak, heartache. Somebody had this tattooed on them today. Blood magic. The totality of fates and blood magic. Spirit told me in the new moon in Taurus reading, and I'm not going to give away all the information because it is exclusive subs content over on Substack, but still, okay? Spirit told me in that reading that there's going to be some return if you're someone who has worked with that kind of magic, blood magic specifically, okay? And like specifically blood, because there's altar for ancestors and then there's blood magic. They're contextually similar, but they're also very different. Okay. So if you ever work that kind of magic, and you're right, as a human and practitioner, there's going to be some revealings and some concealings in this moon cycle. Concealed, revealed, concealed. To be revealed, to be concealed. Protect what you're given. Heartache. Take a break. Take a break. Heartache. Take a break. We're going to leave it at that. Okay. And protect yourself. This is a lot of protection stuff, honestly. Protection, direction. It was a pretty big one. Okay. We're going to leave it be. If you need me, also thanks. If you need me, there's a whole bunch of links on the website. Discord, Substack, blog. What else? You want a private session and you've worked with me before? Send me a message. What else is up? My music is up for distribution. My prints and merch are out. Cool. That's what's up. I'm going to go and I'm going to record this. I'm going to put it on YouTube. There we go. There we go. There we go. You know? If you go for Jacob, if you go to the Substack, there is a lot of my ritual work over there will say it. It's written out in a bunch of places over there. Yeah. Yeah. She's the artist. She's the artist. I'm grateful I can be here, honestly. I'm grateful I can be here. Ah! Another card on the floor. Crazy. All right. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you. Have a great day. I'll be back on probably tomorrow. So if you want to come say hi, if you want to get a reading, I'll be here. And that's it. I'll see you later. Yeah. Love you. Bye.